Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Discussingly Resilient podcast, and today's episode of Infection Critical, the mini-series where we take a look at the best death card performing lists of the last week, or in this case 2 weeks because I missed one, apologies, it was my 30th birthday. And basically we go through the list, look at the matchups and see how it goes, how they did, so let's get into it. So as we said, the series goes trying to be the weekly video, sometimes it's bi-weekly, I might change it so that might be easier. We're going to look at the best death card performing list of the week, analyse the list, the units they brought, then we're going to look at some of the matchups, and if possible I'll try and reach out to the player and sort of get their opinion on how it went, any changes they make, etc. That's not always possible, but we do try our best. So, coming in on this one, we've got Gonzalo the Raven, with 4 wins and 1 loss at Le Vos de Horus Open. With 102 players event, so a very large major level event, so really cool to see. Rocking the double Biologist Putrefier, double Foul Blightspawn and Typhus combo. Then we're rocking a lot of Plague Marines, 2 times 10 squads with heavy plague weapons, melters and despewers, so a nice sort of like mixture of shooting and melee there. And we've got 2 5-mans rocking pure melee, so we've got 3 heavy plague weapons and 2 biotic weapons in those squads. A squad of 10 Death Guard cultists, a squad of 10 Poxwalkers. Again, I've said it a million times, cultists are just great to have for stuff like early screening, early pressure, getting free stickies if you get a search and destroy mission, just initiating trades, spreading contagion, or even just worst case scenario screening. So they're really useful to have. Poxwalkers, probably more than likely in this list, going to be used for holding home objective. Poxwalkers don't have the movement that cultists do to be able to sort of spread contagion early and be able to like move blockers efficiently. But I mean, they can still provide a screen if you're against something like World Eaters. But really, I likely see these guys probably holding home the most for Gonzalo here. So hopefully I'm right on that assumption. Now, backing this up, we've got 3 Predator Destructors rocking all last cannon. So a lot of fire-based potential from these 3 Predators. Predators are great. 130 points is super cheap for the profile that it brings. The main problem that Predators can have is it can be a little swingy. So bringing 3 Predators kind of sort of shores that up, because if one of them whiffs, you've still got 2 there to help back up and make up the dice rolls, basically. Rocking some las cannons as well to sort of keep, again, opponents' vehicles in check. The las cannons do, and the auto cannon actually do have the really good range of like 48 inches, sort of keeps people more humble. Brigands, which are in this list later on, we'll talk about, are very, very good anti-tank. The problem they have is the 24 inches, so the Predators sort of balanced out by having slightly less reliable anti-tank, but at a much longer range. We're also rocking 2 Chaos Rhinos, obviously to carry around our Plague Marines. Now, interestingly, don't have a 3rd Rhino here, because I thought there'd be 3 Rhinos. So I'm wondering if how he's playing these, whether it's just the 5-mans maybe start in and then get shot out straight away to sort of contest primary, and then the 10-mans get in afterwards, or maybe he's using strategic reserves on some of these 5-mans. So Gonzalo, if you do listen to this podcast, please do reach out to me. I would be interested to know what the plan is with the 5-mans and the 10-mans, because I imagine you probably want your 10-mans in the Rhinos to keep them safe. Then we're rocking a single unit of Nurglings. 1 unit of Nurglings is still also great to bring. Again, early move block, early scout denial, which is the main thing for them. You don't want to get scouted on by World Eaters or Votan. You can also deny people getting infiltrators with OC onto points early, because then you really have to put an effort to get them off, especially on Terraform missions. So it's really good to bring the Nurglings as well for that. And then, rocking up again, it's becoming a staple once again, everyone. 3 War Dog Brigands, and even I can't say anything anymore. I went to an RTT recently, played the triple Brigand build, and they're pretty good. They're pretty damn good. Managed to win that, and we'll have an event recap later this week for that. But yeah, Brigands just bring so much, and the synergy they have with Death Guard, because their own innate ability to get +1 AP versus the closest target, combined with the -1 save that we can bring, you get AP3 chain cannons and AP6 mellow, which is just the look on your opponent's face when you shoot a Hecaton in cover and you go, yeah, you don't get a save, because I'm AP6. It's really, really funny. So yeah, a cool list, nice. No Terminators, quite interestingly, so a lot of focus on the Plague Marines doing a lot of the work here, but a huge amount of fire-based potential with the triple Predator Destructors and the triple Brigand. So lots of shooting firepower, backed up by this very scary 2 big melee units, and the 2 5-mans that are also full melee, so they've got a nice bit of brawl in there. Like these unsupported 5-mans, the 90-point units, can actually trade up into a lot of equivalent. Like, for example, you run into 5 Jump Assault Intercessors versus 5 full melee Plague Marines. The melee Plague Marines will often come out on top in that engagement. But obviously we're rocking Typhus, because Typhus is just silly, auto good. Deep striking, do an action, mortal wound something, 80 points, woo. It's pretty much free. So let's have a look at some of his rounds. So round 1, he had 100 to 65 victory against Thousand Suns. Thousand Suns rocking the usual Magnus, Sorcerers, Rubrics. Like, seriously, guys, what else were you expecting at this point? They have one build, and that's about it. No Mutalith or XB, so that's like the main thing. Does it have Mutalith or not? This one does not have Mutalith. So, but he managed to get a pretty solid victory there. 100 to 65 looks like he probably managed to get on top of them, kill either Magnus, I'm going to guess, or managed to get a really good engagement onto multiple Rubrics, drain those Cabal points, and from there, because of the nature of the Thousand Sun army, once the Cabal points start drying up, it's very hard for them to do stuff, the tricks that they usually do, and Thousand Suns don't have many models, so if you kill them, they literally can run out, they can get tabled very, very quickly. But yeah, really solid win there. Round 2, unfortunately, same match again. Thousand Suns, Magnus, Sorcerer, Rubrics. No, like, yeah, seriously, what are you expecting at this point? It's the same shit every time. This one does have a single Mutalith, though. And he did unfortunately lose this one. Very close loss, though, 51 to 43. So, given the score, this looks like either a really close game where they kind of butchered each other's score, or potentially a really rough mission. We've seen that before where people in the tournament packs put really low scoring missions in, which isn't great for either player. But yeah, I mean, it is a hard matchup. Thousand Suns can really go one way or the other, as we see in the first game. He managed to get a good engagement, potentially, or kill Magnus, something like that, and he snowballs it and wins. But the Thousand Sun player knows the stuff. It can be very hard to engage with, and to be honest, holding them to a 51 victory against you still shows that this was a really good game and a good effort by Gonzalo there to do a lot of damage and basically be able to keep the score nice and tight. Because if this was a teams game, that would be I think that's even that's only a 8-point differential, so 5 points, so it's 11 to 9. So that'd actually be incredible in teams. Which again, for Thousand Suns versus Death Guard, that's an incredible score to walk away with. So still, well done on your loss there, mate. Well done. The next one, we're coming back for some vengeance. We're playing against everything that's apparently Thousand Sunny and Space Wolves today. So 100 to 50 victory versus Space Wolves. Space Wolves are rocking Wolfen, Thunderwolves, so it's not full Wolf Jail, but they still got some of the core components. So big 2 squads of Thunderwolves, 2 squads of Wolfen, and a big 10-man Terminator break, which is a bit off the meta. And it turns out when Power Armor Melee comes into Death Guard, yeah, it doesn't end that well. 2 massive fight first bricks are going to be a huge problem for these guys. Plus, the triple Predator's just going to have an absolute field day shooting at all these targets. Like, Terminators, sure, kill them. Wolfen, sure, kill them. Thunderwolves, sure, kill them. And the Brigands are also going to have an absolute field day shooting all this stuff. And he's got enough screens with the Poxwalkers, the Cultists, so he can even put a 10-man down, because the fight first, they'll screen happily, to basically make this extremely unapproachable for the Space Wolf player. And it looks like maybe the Wolves got a little too close for comfort, got in that contagion range and got absolutely smashed there. So congrats on the 100 to 50 victory. Then we got round 4, 100 to 61 victory against Dark Angels Gladius. 15 Deathring Knights, so a lot of Deathring Knights, 2 Vindicators and an Eradicator Repulsor combo. So this is the Eradicators with the 5+ crits, bullshit, sustained lethal nonsense, kills any vehicle it looks at. Now normally that's really good. I think the main problem here is that the Vindicators are good, but they're short range. They're 24 as well, which is exactly where a Brigand wants to be, because a Brigand will then walk 12 into you, put you in melter range, and one-tap your ass. So I'm going to guess that's probably what happened to the Vindicators. And the interesting thing is, if the Eradicator Repulsor combo then wants to react to the Brigand and kill it, the Triple Predators are like the perfect profile to mince Eradicators. You can sit outside their range, so you can't get overwatched. You have all like 3 damage, like most las cannons, unless you roll a 1, are going to be at least 3 damage as well. All going to be plus AP because it's all infantry. The second that thing gets out, it's dead. And if they don't get out, there's a good chance that, again, a Brigand with a good melter shot, get 2 hits, 2 wounds, use a CP roll if you got a, there's a good chance you one-tap that Repulsor, because again, it's a 3-up save, no invulnerable vehicle. So then the guys get out, they can't even overwatch at this point, so if you've got something else nearby, you can then either charge them or shoot them with a second unit or some Predators. So it's a really good matchup in terms of dealing with the Vindicators and the Repulsor combo. The Deathring Knights could be a little problematic, but the problem is here that he's got the Deathring Knights is we have a lot in Gonzalo's list of disposable OC. Like the 2 5-mans can walk onto a point where the Deathring Knights are, not engage them in close combat and just flip it with 10 OC. So they're going to do that every goddamn turn. So the Knights have to keep making charges. That means they have to come out. They can't sit behind walls, which then you can reply to with, again, that triple Predator, triple Brigand Firebase and pick them up. So looks like a really solid, nice victory there. 100 to 61. Again, 300s on the victory. So his victories are insanely high points. So well done on the victories there, mate. And then going into the last match, we're against Ynnari. We're coming with a 97 to 51 victory against Eldari playing Ynnari mix. So we've got Scourges, Ravagers, triple D cannon, and lots of MSU stuff. Now this actually looks quite scary on the front of it. If he had triple Plague Burst Crawl, I'd be like, this is free. But he doesn't. So it's actually kind of scary. Scourges are obviously kind of terrifying to vehicles. The move, shoot, move with the Haywire or the Lances. Ravagers, triple Dark Lances are very scary. D-Cannons are still incredibly scary, indirect with the insane profile that they have. And lots of MSU scoring means it's going to be hard to outtrade. So this is the one I'm very interested to know how it went, because it looks like, I mean, a 97 to 51 victory is very convincing. So I'm guessing, potentially, maybe he just went full out with the pressure. Again, they're going to struggle to kill those big 10-man play marine bricks with the amount of like anti-tank they've brought. Like, sure, you can shoot the anti-tank, but you're going to take like a few pop -1 to hit. You're going to take like 20 Darkland shots to wipe out the Plague Marines, which then lets your Brigands and stuff move up. And if the Brigands or the Predators see anything in this army for a turn, more than likely you're going to kill it. Like, they just aren't tanky. Like, it's Dark Eldar and Eldar. If you get shots on it, it dies. So I'm not sure if he just pressured the Eldar and killed them like that, or maybe the Eldar got a bit cocky, maybe Eldar came a bit too forward and they got punished for it. The Havoc launches on the Brigands do help pick up stuff like Scourges though. Very lucky rolls could potentially pick up a squad straight off the bat. And again, if he puts himself in deep strike too much, he's also at risk of being screened out by, again, the Rhinos, the Plague Marines. And one thing this list is definitely going to do is struggle to hold primary versus this Death Guard. Eldari notoriously aren't very good at holding primary, and in this Death Guard list we've got multiple 5-mans that can just shoot out onto a point to steal primary quite easily. But yeah, it looks like a really solid victory there, 97 to 51. So congratulations on this result. 4-1 at the moment with Death Guard is incredible. So extremely well done, and your one loss was super close, so super unlucky on that. But a hard matchup for sure there, Thousand Suns, a really hard matchup. But congratulations, Gonzalo. Is it Gonzalez or Gonzalo? Gonzalo. Yeah. Congratulations very much, mate. And yeah, super cool list. And then second list we're looking at today is Daniel Redrassei. Redrassei? I never remember how to pronounce your second name, dude. I'm so sorry. But he was the guy that was on last week with Grant Kaufman, whose second name I have remembered how to pronounce. Sorry, Dan. Who basically did the interview with myself and Grant, where we talked about the list they'd created and how it managed to win an event with Death Guard. Well, go undefeated, unfortunately didn't get the full win, but still undefeated. And he himself managed to get a 6-1 or a 5-1 with it, because again, American rounds are weird. So it's a very good list. Now he's showing up again, the Hammer of Wrath GT, coming in with 4 wins and 1 loss, 60-player pit event, 2 Barrage Putrefires, 2 Foul Blight Spawns, so he's trying out the double 10-man bricks as well. Interesting to see how this goes. I'm hopefully going to reach out to him, maybe get him back on again to talk about this one. It shows that even though he's got a good list that works, he's still experimenting, still trying stuff out, because it is important to do that and to keep testing and seeing what's working. Plague Bus is back again, so glad he's still repping the Plague Bus. Then we've got Typhus. Then we're on 2x10 Plague Marines, all melee plus the flamethrowers, so no melter guns here. Which again, he's explained the reasons for this in his previous interview, so do check that out. I'll put the link at the end of this video, so do check it out. 2 units of cultists, so a lot more sort of like potential to like do screening stuff on like early engagements or trading, things like that. 1 squad of Death Shroud Terminators with a full 6-man. He really likes this unit, uses it as like a staple brick with Typhus in there. We talked about it again, previous episode, go check it all out. There's so much information there. It was great to talk to the guys. And then we've got 2 Fetid Bloat Drones with the Mowers, 2 Chaos Rhinos, which is interesting again, because where do the Playcasters go? Do they sit outside of a Rhino? Do you fly a 10-man out and then they get in? So interesting to know about that. Please let us know, Dan. Or if you want to come on and chat about it again, we'll do that. We've got a squad of Nurglings. Again, we've talked about Nurglings and why bringing 1 is good utility. Then we've got double Brigand and a Carnivore. So Dan does like bringing a Carnivore instead of just triple Brigand. He does go 2 and 1 a lot. I think it's the utility, the speed, and like the actual like raw like scariness of a Carnivore. But again, I would like to get him back on to see how this went. I'm not going to go too much into this fella's games. I think his 1 loss was to Grey Knights, because again, I'm hoping he comes on. Grey Knights being an extremely tough matchup. Uppy Downy is hard for Death Guard, surprise, because you know, of course it is. So this is honestly an understandable loss, but a really cool list there. And again, I do wonder about the 2 10-man bricks, because I'm a bit iffy on 10-man bricks at the moment. I think 1's very good, 2 is maybe a bridge too far for myself, but again, maybe it working, or maybe if he comes on, which, you know, hint hint, he can explain that maybe that was his mistake and he was actually remove that and put Rotagus back in, because that's kind of like the thing that's missing from the classic list here. But yeah, another really solid list. So hopefully there's two sort of lists there that you guys can look at. Unfortunately, we do seem to be quite reliant on our allies at the moment, especially War Dogs, which does suck because I'm a purist at heart. But right now, these are competitive lists. If you are playing at your local friendly store, you do not need to bring these lists. You can play pure Death Guard and be fine. But if you want to go to events, you want to do as best as you can, these are the kind of lists we want to be looking at. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I will have hopefully another one up next week. I've got a plague surgery coming up later today as well, which is on Sunday, so you might watch this afterwards, so ignore that. But I've also got an event recap coming up to cover my RTT using the Allied list with Rotigus and Triple Brigand. So if you guys want to see how I played and how that event went and how I managed to take first place using the Allies, then tune in for the stream at some point next week. But for now, thank you so much. If you guys are interested in learning how to play a little bit more, please check out Vanguard Tactics. Links in the description below for any courses, or just check out the YouTube channel. Chuck on and subscribe as well, but obviously like and subscribe me first. I always forget to ask for that. If you want to get your hands on some nice, disgustingly resilient themed gaming aids, check out Saltire Games Etsy store. You can use promo code NERGLE to get 10% off your order. Gives a little kickback to us. And if you're thinking of ordering something in the UK or close, please use Element Games. We have an affiliate link in the description below. Again, you benefit, we benefit. And obviously, thank you to our YouTube members for keeping this channel going and basically showing immense support. We massively appreciate it. And if you're none of the above and you're not interested in any of the above, thank you just so much for tuning in, listening, and staying till the end. It really appreciate it. But for now, guys, stay rotten, and we should catch you all in the next episode. See you later.